Hello fans, subscribers, or whoever else is watching today's video. I decided to get a bit on the educational side of things and talk about how to tell different trains apart, more specifically trains in the Tampa Bay region. Sorry, I'm a little hot, it's about 90 degrees out here and very humid. Say you're either unfamiliar with the railroad operations, don't have a scanner, didn't understand what was said on the scanner, or you simply forgot it at home. You may probably want to know what that train symbol or ID is, whether you want to put it in a video, or you just want to keep a list, or whatever else you want to do with it. The method of figuring out a symbol is much easier if you know the area, and I usually know the area pretty well around here, so I usually know which train is which, even without a scanner. I usually go by the type of consist and or time of day the train passes. The consist is basically just what the train consists of, whether it's mixed cars, all the same cars, no cars, how many cars, and so on and so forth. The method of figuring out a train ID is actually the easiest with the mixed freight trains or the local trains. Around the Tampa Bay area, the local trains are just miniature mixed freight trains. You can also tell whether a train is a local or a mainline train based on the engines as well. Around here, most of our locals tend to have one, sometimes two EMD 4-axle engines, usually the GP38 or the GP40 series, while your big 100-car mixed freight trains tend to have those big 6-axle GE engines, usually the General Electric Evolution series, GEVO series for short. However, unit trains, or trains with all the same cars, are often as needed, and you usually do need a scanner to figure out their ID, since the train IDs can vary. There's a lot of different IDs for some of these unit trains. But anyway, that's enough talking, let's get to the video. Let's start with an easy example. Say you are new to the area, saw a YouTube channel with videos of a train on the Clearwater subdivision, and you want to catch that train. You hit a spot on that line and wait for the train you saw in that video, but you don't know if any other trains run on this line. You finally hear the horn and see a train round the corner with a GP40-3 engine and 37 cars. The consist is mostly various rock hoppers and one random tank car. If you ended up catching that train, you would have just seen CSX local job L791, the Monday through Friday Clearwater local. Now how do I know it's L791? Notice the first block of rock hoppers and look for the letters PMRX or CYXX. Those cars come from Largo, which is a place L791 often works. The second block of rock hoppers have CBMX or CSXT letters or reporting marks. Those come from St. Pete, a major spot L791 often works. And that tank car? That's from Suburban Propane in Clearwater. Propane tanks are often long, and have a small red placard with the number 1075 printed on. L791 happens to also be the only train on this portion of the Clearwater subdivision, so if you get a train in Clearwater, there's a 99% chance it's L791. But if you are in Tampa, where there are a few more trains, this information would be useful. L791 is the train that would have mostly various rock hoppers, and sometimes a tank car or two, maybe even a boxcar. Now for another example. This train is M457 near the end of the busy Vida subdivision in Lakeland. M457 runs daily to Orlando, but how do I know this is M457? First, this train often runs in the mid-morning by this location. Secondly, this train has two big 6-axle engines, which usually, but not 100% of the time, mean this is a mainline freight train. And third, the consist. M457 always runs with these big white refrigerated boxcars, often up front, but sometimes they can be elsewhere in the train. And see those ex-Amtrak boxcars rolling by? Those are also almost always on M457. M457 will also often run with a lot of those PMRX and CYXX rock hoppers, and some other various cars, but that isn't really a big indicator, as many of these Florida trains run with those cars. Another indicator of 457 is these short tank cars filled with corn syrup with the STSX reporting marks. Sometimes these cars have the words Tate and Lyle printed on. Like most Florida mixed freight trains, M457 has a big block of auto racks on the rear. That practice became common in 2017 due to Hunter Harrison's Precision Scheduled Railroading, or PSR for short. Now, not all locals run with those 4-axle EMDs. This is train U778. The U prefix means that this is an off-time or extra local. Normally, this would be daily train L778, but that train runs mostly during darkness. I can tell that this train is U778 due to its off time and its consist. Both L778 and U778 handle loaded rock hoppers bound for customers on the Navy Spur in Tampa, as well as some rock gondolas, I believe, bound for the Seminole Gulf Railway in the Bradenton, Sarasota area. The length of this train greatly varies, but almost always runs with two 6-axle GE engines due to the heavy rock loads. I unfortunately can't get to all trains since there are so many around the Tampa Bay region. Thank you for watching, and I hope maybe some of you guys learned something.